Nowadays, anyone can do it. And you wouldn't have it otherwise. Like readily available access to the internet, foreign travel, contraception. You wouldn't, really. Even given last night after supper, when despite you regretting having come without your glasses, undeterred, your host, a good friend and in many ways a most admirable person, pressed on you photo after photo after photo of Australia. The blurred, exhaustive tour, just to give you some idea of the rooms in his son's new flat, the final straw. I like to write seasonal poems, and this is a poem about cricket. This is because of the World Cup just having happened, and because of it having been a really cricket kind of day, wasn't it? And it's called Remains, and it's got an epigraph from Ezra Pound: "What thou lovest well remains, the rest is dross." And it's about my cricketing career. Clive Radley appears in this poem, who used to play for Middlesex and England, and who I once got out. I've known scores of squares, wickets freshly mown on playing fields, on sloping village greens. I've clattered down pavilion steps alone, pulling a glove on, or with the others, loosening up, throwing catches, going out to field. I've walked in, on my toes as the bowler bowled. I've crouched in front of the bat and dived, snapped up sharp chances, flung out an arm, and running underneath skied cover drives, watched the ball into my hands. But forgotten them all, even the dropped ones I knew I'd never live down. I've bowled too, polished the ball on my thigh and adjusted the seam under my fingers, made it swing and move off the pitch. I've varied my pace slightly and used the width of the crease to alter the angle. However many wickets I took, just 2 stay with me. Dad bowled for a duck between bat and pad in the fathers' match when I was 13, the strange pain of that. And Clive Radley, then at Norwich School, second ball, a slash at a wide long hop, a stinging 2-handed overhead catch for Crow Goodley in the gully. And I've been an opener, middle order, scored runs, done my bit with a straight bat, a good eye and dogged application. I've seen off the pacemen and learnt to play spin, to keep the ball down, to cut and drive, to glance and pull, to steal quick singles. And once, playing for Tilford at home, for half an hour I was possessed. I knew how to do it and dared to. I drove down the line, perfect timing, and taking the ball on the rise, I lifted it over the bowler's head, then over long on to thud into the oak, and over long off to bounce in the road, and on through a hush, a storm of cheers from the drinkers outside the barley mow. It only happened once. This is another little athletic poem, it's rather an athletic set here. This is a poem about rugby. Well, it's about oranges. It's about those oranges you got at half time. Brought to us on a plate at half time by the linesman. We break from the pep talk. He wants us quicker at the rucks, more possession. And jostle for choice of slice, suck them, make gum shields of them, or thumbing them inside out, we gnaw the last shreds of flesh off the peel, wipe our hands on our shorts, on Gorringe's shirt. Our perks, our just desserts, not given a second thought as we spread out, take up our positions for the start of the second half. It was nice to rhyme Gorringe, wasn't it, with orange? It was the main reason for the poem. Now, this could be fatal, couldn't it? So this is a poem, another sporting poem. This has got a boogie board in, which is one of those things that is a kind of surfboard, a small kind of polystyrene surfboard that often has very jazzy kind of decoration on it. And this was what you need to know about this is, if you don't know, if this is possible, if you don't know that Arran pilots are early potatoes. They are. And it's about Edwin Morgan, really, this poem, because you probably know that nice programme, Last Words. Well, I heard the last words on about Edwin Morgan, and I was very struck by something he said. So this is called Waiting for the Wave. Perhaps that's a secret, the recording of Edwin Morgan, when he said on the radio programme in his memory that I caught washing up and went on cleaning the top of the cooker too, that what interested him was the future. Which reminds me, it's time to check on my earlies, Arran pilots, laid out on the boogie board I fetched in from the garage to Tim's old room, light and cool with the radiator off. Should be a good place to sprout them. And it worked. This is a poem that came about because of that experience that I have kind of increasingly of waking up in the mornings and drinking my tea in bed and noticing that not a thought is passing through my head, and finding that rather alarming. And it's called The Corpse. He shares my morning cup of tea, likes it colder than me. Staring at the empty blue window, he's my dad propped up, glimpsed again through the ward's swing doors. I reach for my book, find my place, or jump up quick, wash, give myself a close shave, inhale soap and froth the strong teeth he bears of the mirror. He's a rude child. I rattle him off downstairs, stop his mouth with muesli, fresh fruit. Once I kiss him goodbye at the school gates and get on with my life. But he grows so fast. No time since he was nothing but a blink in my eye, a blank at the end of my tunnel. Yet self-evident now, so conspicuous, in the tube some woman stands up and offers me her seat. Though my feet are killing me, I decline, my smile tightened by his grin. He knows me inside out. He's like a parent, come to collect me from a party I've just started to enjoy, ridiculously punctual. Oh, he can wait. Yes, he can wait. And he does, exchanging ghastly, benign glances with that corpse of yours, of the way we fret over deadlines or how badly we've slept. When I first wrote that poem, I was appalled by women standing up in the tube to offer me a seat, but these days, I think it's rather nice. So, this is one of those rather useful instruction, a poem that tells you something useful, and it kind of follows on from that. It's called Nails in the Coffin. A myth, apparently, neither toe nor fingernails go on growing after death. The truth, though less mysterious, palpably makes perfect sense. Blood no longer pumped, sinks back, and so the skin around them shrinks. It's interesting, isn't it? So it looks as if they're growing, but they're not at all. That poem came back because I wrote this really neat poem that I was really pleased with about how my nails, you know, it was a little kind of quatrain about my nails growing after I was dead and how I was cutting them down to size, you know, for the moment, you know, which I liked very much. But then I looked it up on the internet and I found out it wasn't true. So I thought, wow. So this is a little poem which has got an epigraph from Frost. It's called The Right Place, and the epigraph goes, "Earth's the right place for love. I don't know where it's likely to go better." You fetched a duvet and laid it lightly over the shoulders of someone beside you who slipped unwittingly into sleep. And drifting off yourself on a sofa somewhere, you've sensed the same weight settle and known how the warmth around you will soon deepen your sleep. And that's something, whatever else you've done or not done. As Peter said, I'm a editor of a magazine, and I thought you might like a little poem about editing a magazine. And I thought it would be kind of suitable for now. And this might tell you something you don't realise about people. It's called resolutions. So it's about those New Year resolutions and what happens if you're editing a magazine around New Year. With the new year, every year, a surge in submissions. Dear Sir, Madam, please consider, hope you enjoy. Bending to the heap of mostly brown fat C5 and C4 envelopes fanned out on the mat, 10, 11, even more. Such resolve arrived at independently deserves some thought. But first of all, I flick through for any smaller, thinner letters caught up in the pile, the odd one or two who've decided to subscribe now or renew.